Why are they all coming?
Oh, because there's not a comma between them. Put a comma next to David Thomas.
Still getting used to it. Space.
Yeah. Okay.
So now, and you send me the YouTube, and I just send the YouTube to the exact same group.
YouTube goes to everybody.
Yes, this goes to everybody too. It just tells them their name.
You're sending everybody the link? So even like people.
I told them at 3 o'clock. I'll show you. I said,
But everybody includes Janine and people who, Namjel and people like that. That's who you're sending.
oh.
Everybody is everybody is involved.
Okay. Oh, that's the same as yesterday.
Same as yesterday, yeah.
Right. Okay, so the same as yesterday.
Mm-hmm. So you just have to
Send. We called it. Link for Google Hangouts. Link for Google Hangouts. This one. YouTube. Oops, there it is.
No, you're going to put a different link.
Yeah, we'll put a different link in.
Yeah.
So this one, people. Send again.
One viewer.
We're needing one.
You think it's on already? It doesn't say. But how could there be one viewer if we didn't send out the YouTube yet? Okay, if you're watching this now, sooner or later I'm going to edit it down so you won't have to watch all of this.
Oh, did I just send it?
Send it again then.
Yes. Oh, here we go. YouTube thing.
Go back to the YouTube page. Great, you got your thing to the 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock. Go back to Bernie, see if you got the link. What's that? Set up the YouTube, yeah.
Crazy.
What's that? Set up the YouTube. Yeah. What's this? Do I hear voices? No.
Okay.
No.
This is everybody, the whole room, us too.
Mm-hmm.
Coming next year to do something. She's
Doubtful.
Hate the travel. I will probably do one more with most scholars in 2016 and then retire. Don't do. I asked her if you could do improv.
Doubtful.
Hate the travel. I will probably do one more with most scholars in 2016 and then retire.
Oh, I think that's
I
just.
asked her if you could do improv.
Why is there so much feedback?
Rough team.
Google Hangout link. Okay, great.
Pamela.
And then you also sent out the thing for the YouTube, huh?
Yeah, we should get that.
Here it is. Oops. This is this.
Oops is the right one.
Okay.
Did you get two of them?
No, I just got one of them.
Oh. It says in my search bar. Did you see the note from Pamela?
Note from Pamela that she's not going to be able to make it. Yeah.
She did. And yes, I can remember what I was wearing.
Because she has this incredible memory. She remembers what she was wearing every day of her life.
You're kidding.
No.
Wow. The chairs, I'm going to make the chairs be a little closer together.
Good.
Be so far apart.
All right. And maybe we'll
Get them closer to
right.
these guys.
And we'll put this back up here.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Oh, Bluetooth, there you be. It happened.
There's a lot of noise.
Hey. All right, look, you're getting big. I'm getting big. I'm going to try plugging the sound in and see if this is going to work. That's Bernie, yeah. Say hi to him. I asked him to come on and do a little test. Okay. Adjust this on this side. Truly you. Can you speak and let's see if
Remy. I don't like that. How about just that?
Tell me your first.
I think that's as loud. What did you say, Pooks?
He'll be first.
He's going to be first?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm first, man. It's like,
You're
yeah. Anybody want to tell me what I'm doing, by the way, aside from being so cute?
Yeah, we're asking people to take 3 minutes to share a memory of Playfair. Either most people talk about something that happened on their tour or at the Playfair retreat or just anything Playfair-ish. So we'll get a kind of an oral history going of things Playfair. So you might want to do like a story about the very beginnings, or you might want to do whatever comes into your head. I don't know, seeing whatever.
Yeah,
People.
you could feel free to ask me questions, or does I have to be all by myself for 3 minutes? I can't talk to anybody else?
Well, you know, right now you could like, as people come in, you could do a little waving and like that. But you mean back and forth with other people who are on the call? And it's mostly like monologues, a series of monologues.
All right, so I'll monologue for 3 minutes, though I will accept all prompting and happy smiles. Are you liking the way you're looking? Are you like, look at the cutie with the movie?
Oh, he's got the hats on. You've got the hat on from the Google thing. Oh, that's so great. You should put one of those on. How do I do that again?
How do you do that? Don't mess with it.
Don't mess
Don't
with
mess
it.
with it. Don't mess with perfection.
That looks good. That looks good.
No.
You change your hat every. Oh yeah, here we go. What is that?
It's a tiara. It's my basic tiara look.
That's lovely. It becomes you.
All right, I could do this instead.
Oh yeah, king. That's a good one.
Yeah, he's the emperor. So,
Yep.
you know, okay.
Gonna move.
Yeah. What do you want him to do? All right, we're going to get set up here. People are beginning to arrive.
Very exciting.
All right, let me plug and unplug and replug.
It's all so exciting. So exciting is what it's all.
Where am I going to put this? Over here for the knots. So we played both Danish hands and Handland to great acclaim here, and
Oh, I love to hear that. Oh, I'm so glad. Those were two of my favorite games.
huge hits. And definitely, I set it up a little bit and talked about you to the people who didn't know you, and talked about the workshop that you just did in San Francisco. So people are pumped to meet you in the unflesh.
Yes.
Speaking of which, now where did this happen? Where was this now? Oh, I know. This was at this organization last week where I did the Danish hands with this group too. This group that I'm a part of, TLC, and one of the very enterprising young women wrote an email out to everyone saying, I Googled the guy Bernie DeCove and Matt was talking about, and he has a free ebook that everybody can get. And so she sent it out to all these people. And I gave her your line about it being a best non-seller.
Yes.
Very enterprising of her. I wasn't even pushing the book, and she like Googled it and sent it out to everybody on the list. That was great. That was great.
Very good.
Having a very, very sweet 40th. Let me show you. Oh yeah, you're even part of this book, Blue. This is the book that they made up for me.
I believe I submitted some things to be in that book.
You did. You are definitely in there, but it just turned out gorgeous with
It's
photos and texts.
Oh man.
Playfair family tree in here. It's just,
Are you just like feeling like so like kind of smug and accomplished and loved and appreciated and everything?
I am feeling very loved and appreciated. This was just blew me away.
Well, absorb it. absorb it, integrate that into your self-image that you have achieved, you have accomplished, you have established a world of happiness and joy and created a movement and something like that.
Yeah, I'm definitely making that attempt to let it in big.
Yeah. Hard to, isn't it? But it's true.
Yeah. So it's all good. Good. We're coming up on 2 o'clock. Some early birds eating their lunch in the room. Excellent. So it's going to be great.
All right. I'll just hang here and wait for my cue.
Okay, great. And feel free to, hang out and listen to some of the other people sharing too. Obviously, you are the root from which this tree has sprung, so we will fertilize you today.
Thank you.
Wow, he comes complete with props. I love him already.
You can get them on the Google Hangout.
Really?
Yeah.
You know how, but we're not going to tell you.
We're not going to do what?
Tell you how.
We're not going to tell you how. It's secret, because we don't want people playing around with this.
No. This is a serious business here, except for you, of course. But I think it's okay to have the screen kind of in the light of sight when people are talking.
Yeah, because it adds to the dynamic. Yeah. As long as
Dynamo-ish of it.
it looks good.
Yep. Hey, your hat's on a little crooked. Why don't you just...
Yeah, I'll change hats maybe.
That's much better.
All right. I'm thinking
All right. So, you graduated now.
I have.
Yeah. To your ultimate wisdom. All right. I'm going to take my last pee break, and I'll be back shortly.
Really? Anywhere right here. Yeah, no, that's just happened.
People are coming, there's a hangout. People are coming one at a time to take 3 minutes to say what they know about their early experiences. Wait a minute.
Andy? No.
Somebody else is here? Who is that?
Who are we looking
Andrew.
at?
Is Andrew?
This is Andrew. How are you?
Andy.
Oh,
Center.
wow. How are you? Good to see
Oh,
you.
ha! Whoa, I didn't even recognize you.
No, I didn't recognize him at all.
This is the me now. This is what it looks like now.
It looks great.
Hey,
Yeah.
Rich. Oh, look at that. Rich, that's amazing.
Oh,
oh, what a trip.
Yeah. Wow.
It's so good to see you. I wish I could give you a hug.
Yeah.
I got it.
Okay.
One of my favorite memories, Andy, is when you and Karen danced. Remember at the retreat, the winter retreat, when a man loves a woman?
Oh, yeah. Do you know I danced to that at my wedding? That was our song, Shannon and I.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was green with envy. Wonderful. So beautiful. I was crying. Yeah.
We need to
Gorgeous.
for something else.
All right, if you'll excuse me, it's 5 o'clock.
Yeah, I see somebody behind you. Hey, buddy. Hey.
Oh, good. Jerome. Jerome is here. Yay. You with Gail? Yes. Hey. Where people are coming in, into Jerome.
All right, Pookie, will you give this structure?
Yes. I'm going to give instructions.
It's 3:02 or 1 somewhere where you are. It's 2 o'clock. It's 1 minute past 2 o'clock. What am I doing here?
How
I'm a
long
busy
time was
man.
Playfair in your day? Yeah, we're not known for being prompt. They are beginning to come in. So did you?
Jerome and Gail.
Hey. So good to
Yeah,
see
Gail and
you.
Jerome are there. Great.
Who are these folks?
This is Andy Wazenter, Bernie DeKoven.
Hello.
I'm Takara. This is Takara. Nice to meet you. This is
Nice
my
to meet
fourth
you.
year at Playfair. I'm a year 4.
Year 4.
Yeah,
That's a good year.
it's a great year.
This is the list here.
Nice to meet you.
We're here?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's 2 o'clock. This is 3 o'clock.
Gotcha. Damn, I'm last?
Yeah.
Hey, you guys. It's fun to see
Sorry,
you.
it's now 2. I'm just saying. Excuse me. I'm just saying it's 2:02. We have 1 more minute left.
This will show you how out of cockerel we're all getting. I'm going to put my hearing aid in now. It's better. Oh, God. What happened?
Karen.
Hello.
But it's been a very sweet retreat so far.
Hey,
These
Karen.
parents have been great. So,
Good to see you, my friend.
Hey,
how over to Pookie.
All
very
right.
uh,
long time.
It's such a long time. Who are we?
Look at it. It's a pretty different place in the temple. Come here. Come here. I'm telling everybody, come here, and they're saying they're looking at this and saying, "You're not going to come here."
On and
Yeah.
can have it on. Is that cute?
Oh my God, Jerome.
You can see all these people. Oh, now you have a hat. How did you get that?
Hi, Karen. It's Christopher and Otter.
Hi, guys.
Mwah.
Hi, Otter. I don't know Christopher, but hi, Christopher.
Yeah, not yet, but nice to meet you, sir. I love your hats.
Hi.
Give me my hat back.
Oh, is that true?
Yeah,
Ma'am, Guile?
I'm doing.
I think it is. No. It's, who's the Bernie?
That's my wife, Rocky. Rocky, this is Bernie. I just wanted her to see the madness that we are about to enter.
Sounds good.
take this and we'll show
Where is everybody from?
Is everybody in different places? What? That's not.
We're gonna, I'm gonna turn it around so you can see our assembled multitudes. We're almost assembled, not quite.
Oh,
So good to see you too.
multitude.
We're standing right in front of
It's
us.
not such a bad.
Oh my God! The multi. Oh! Wow. This is just so special.
Oh, here we go.
Well, multitudinous ones. Okay.
They're in the shadows. We're in the shadows, but
You will be hearing some of our
Are we gonna
stories as
put-
we are hearing
We're
yours.
gonna put it that way forever, right?
You want history? Oh, God.
When they talk, they can see the audience. Let's turn the other way.
Right here, they'll be up here. When who talks?
When Bernie talks.
No. Because they can't see anything except themselves when they're talking.
Fine with me.
The audience,
Oh, I see. Okay, do what you want.
when the audience says something, right? That was-
No, I think they won't be able to see the audience.
So you're
Okay,
gonna-
you guys, I'm going to turn this over to Pookie.
Oh, you're not gonna start.
Am I going to say it?
Well, you said something yesterday.
Okay, yeah.
Say something.
Okay, all right, guys, let's get started,
Fine.
and we're gonna
I just wanted to see it.
usual. I'm gonna turn it over to Pookie in a second.
Do you want everyone to come and say hello to these guys?
Just do a parade and say hi.
Okay, that's a good idea. All right, Newton suggested we do a little parade and everybody come by and wave hi to you and
Say your
quick
name.
introduce yourself. So well, let's do it.
Hi, it's Newton. Hey, Karen. Hi, all of you. Okay.
Hi.
Hey guys, it's Freddie. Good to see you.
Hi, Freddie. Freddie.
Hi guys, I'm Christopher. Good to meet you.
Hi, Diana from Canada. This is my second year.
Oh, welcome, Canadians.
Hi, Lynette. Hi.
Hi, Jennifer.
Hi, guys. I'm Emily. I don't think I've met any of you.
Hello, Emily.
Hi, I'm Lexi. I'm new this year.
Hey, new one. Enjoy.
How you guys doing? My name is Bajorn. I've been here about 4 years. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Hi, my name is Rich. I'm really old this year.
Yeah.
I'm Gilbert Adams. I've been here 8 years. Hi.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Rico. This is my first year. Nice to meet you guys.
Hi, Rico.
Hi, I'm David. This is my 3rd year.
Hi, David. Here we go.
Good, David.
There.
Hi.
Hey, I'm JW. Been here for a long time. Bernie, good to see you again.
Hi, it's me again, Takara. Year 4. I know we're old friends now, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Hi, I'm Lynn. You're Queen. Bernie, I met you in San Francisco. It's good to see you again.
Oh, good to see you.
Hello, I'm Lakeisha. This is my 5th year. Nice to meet you guys.
Hi, Letitia. You remember everybody's name?
Hello. I'm too old to remember how long I've been in Playfair, but I'm not as old as you.
Hello, Otter.
That was Otter, by the way.
That's a long time.
Say again, hon? Oh, I missed.
How many years did she say?
Hi, seriously. I'm Jamila, year 7.
You're 7. Hi, Jamila.
Aho's me flipper! Great! I'm Fran, and I don't know how many years I've been because I took a sabbatical in there. So I don't. Either 16 or 21.
Oh, really?
Hey, my name's Ryan. Good to be here.
Didn't we already see him?
Hello?
Hi, it's Mark, year 1.
I'm Jehoshaphat, year 1.
Hey, I'm Amy. Good to see you guys. I am Hans from Denmark, year 2.
Are they going around again?
I have nothing funny to say.
Welcome to the Playfair tribe, 20.
Wonderful.
So here's how things will work. As you know, quiet down, please. We're going to alternate, starting with Bernie, and we're going to alternate from you to us in this room. You'll have 3 minutes. I'll give you the 1 minute left signal, and that's how it's going to go. So first up is Bernie DeKoven, who started it all. You heard a little bit about Bernie yesterday. You may have read about him in the book. It all began with Bernie. So, Bernie, take it away.
Well, it may have been, first of all, a toast. All right, that's done. Second of all, it may have begun with me, but I certainly had no influence whatsoever over where it wound up being. And that is what I think is like the most exciting about the whole program, the whole process, is that Matt took it to places that I could not have imagined it being. Created amazing, found wonderful, energetic people. This is my recollection that Matt and I got together. I was doing a conference, the Educational Arts Association in Boston. And Matt saw me, and somehow he realized that this was what he wanted to do with the rest of his life, without understanding at all that there was no possible reward to anybody who would pursue a path such as mine is just constant struggle. A lot of laughing and then weeping and kind of, and nevertheless, he abandoned all sanity and joined me in the Games Preserve, which was on a 25-acre farm in eastern Pennsylvania that was devoted to the study of play, study and enactment, the research and the evolution of play. And we, under various influences, slowly began to develop a program that we started calling Playfair. There was also a program called the New Games Foundation, and we took some of our insights from them, or they from us, I'm not really sure, but there was some definite connection. And Matt had this just amazing energy, amazing love, and he put the whole, his understanding of what the kind of, let's get everybody to play together, into a framework that was based on this kind of remarkable sensitivity and compassion that that took it to a whole new level. And we played a lot. There was one thing that was that struck me completely crazy, because I couldn't forget it forever, which was there was one, we had a volleyball net that was outside, and it started getting holes in it. And we started saying, you know this story? Because we started saying to each other, is tonight the night to knit the net? Because we had to knit the net up. And I mean, we must have said that to each other for weeks, never having actually knit the net up. But we said, is tonight the night to knit the... Anyhow, that I thought encapsulates in brilliant detail the kind of experience that we had together. Playful, provocative, cutting edge, really trying to do something that we thought was meaningful for as many people as we could reach. And Matt was a miracle. Took it out to a different place, brought it out to college campuses. Brilliant idea. It was much needed there. And started attracting some marvelous people, of which you guys are clearly exemplary. So that's, have I used my 3 minutes yet? I must have used my 3 minutes. I don't know.
Yes, you have used your 3 minutes. Yes.
Okay. Thank you all much.
That's cute.
Yes.
That was beautiful.
God, thank you so much.
When your time is up, I will borrow something that we learned many, many years ago from Jerome. That means, that was beautiful means your time is now up.
Oh, I see. That was beautiful.
Thanks. All right, I'm timing myself. So you guys
I remember that.
All right, so I'm up next. So I'd like to tell you about how the rituals in Playfair began, because the ritual that we now have every year for first year people.
I'm going to talk about...
Karen and I, excuse me, they began with, the first one was Karen and I, but it happened because I got into Playfair originally from my, I took the training from Jerry, but I didn't get to go to the first retreat because he was kind of still with Mahara, and it was a little awkward, and despite a phone call from everybody, I was feeling sort of left out. The second year, the next year, I was doing the show, I went to the retreat, and the second year, I noticed that I really didn't feel included very much. We'd sit in a big circle on the floor in those days, you know, and we'd sit in a circle, and when people would look around the room at everyone else, they'd skip over me. And so, and of course, I felt devastated about that. I believe it was my third year, and that sort of thing was happening to some degree still, and I was really upset by it, and I actually started to cry, and that brought everyone, that gave everyone, I got attention from everyone in that situation, and so they all gathered around me and said, Pookie, oh, in those days I was Carol Ann. Carol Ann, what is it, what is it, what is it? And I said, I just don't feel included in this group, and belonging is really important to me. And so what happened was, well, Mahara said, well, Matt said, we can do something for you so that you'll feel included, and we'll think about what that is. And Mahara said, well, I know, we can do something right now. And so what she did was the cinnamon bun hug, right, where you know, it started with me, and they all joined hands and wrapped themselves around me, and then they started singing my name and chanting my name, and it was just the most beautiful thing, and I sobbed my way through it. It was beautiful. And then, yeah, it's very, very sad. But now it's very happy because we've been doing it since then for everybody. And the next year, 1 minute for me, the next year was Eddie. And with Eddie, we blindfolded Eddie. We were here, and we positioned ourselves all around this place at about, I don't know, 6 or 8 feet apart. And Eddie was led blindfolded from person to person, and he was asked to tell each of us a secret that he'd never told anyone before. Oh, no, sorry, other way around. We were to tell him a secret we had never told anyone before, and he was called Keeper of the Secrets. And I don't know about anyone else, but I told him something really, really juicy. So, and finally, I'll just tell you all how I got the name Pookie, which is who the Playfair people call me. Apparently, Jerry Namgel, as he's also known, was on the road driving, and he tells me he just thought of it. When I came to the retreat, that's what he says. And when I came here to the retreat, Baby Fran said, you know, Carol Ann, what Pookie means in Filipino, it means vagina. Forevermore, I'm Pookie here. If those of you who don't know me, I'm Carol Ann, then that's way more than, that's 22 seconds over, and I apologize. So, who's next?
I must bid you all adieu until next time. Thank you so much for inviting me.
What's that?
I must bid you all adieu.
I didn't hear. I can't hear what you said. Bye bye. Oh, bye bye.
Come on, everybody. Thank you. Play on.
Okay.
Play on.
Okay. So, Karen, you're next up.
I am. Okay. So, my introduction to Playfair was puking my guts out in Matt's house, which was the office, and ending up in the hospital. Like, I didn't know anybody. I remember, Andy, you were coming back from a run, and you found me in the bathroom, I think on the floor, and you ended up calling an ambulance, and they ended up taking me to the hospital, right? And then we had to decide if I was going to go to the retreat or not. I had food poisoning. I believed I had food poisoning from the airplane, and that was my introduction. It's like, wow. So I decided to go, and I remember playing the O cards. You remember those O cards from Canada? And I mean, I just sort of sat around, but it was what a way to, hello, I'm just going to be on the floor. Oh, God. So anyway, I remember that, and I remember that we didn't officially have a script, or we did, but we didn't use it. And I remember having actually memorized, I think I was the first person to actually have memorized the script. Everybody else was a facilitator, a trainer, or a therapist or something, and I was coming from the entertainment world, probably the first entertainer. Now, I know we have a lot of entertainers now, but I know Fran was a singer, but nobody was really coming from the improv world, and I was coming from that space. So I ended up memorizing the script. I think everybody was really shocked that I had it memorized for the first rehearsal. They're going, what? You memorized the script? And there was no official anything like a manual, or, I mean, we would spend hours trying to organize ourselves, doing tour docs. It was always a trial, like a break your neck kind of, do you have your tour docs done, and all the travel stuff, and being on the phone with Carolyn, all that early stuff. And I remember the beginning rituals, they were great. And I think that first time was when then it turned over where the newbies from the year before created a ritual for the new people coming in.
Right.
And that that started to happen after that first couple of rituals. Like, well, let's let them create something. And then it got more and more creative and more out there and more entertainment. And there were some great rituals that happened. And I don't know what the newbies' rituals were this time around, but I'm sure it was great. I'm sure it was great.
1 minute. 1 minute.
Oh, okay. And so the things that I remember are actually off of, I mean, I could tell massive stories because I've been in it 30 years, but I don't want to kind of scare you because I was always sent to those technical schools and I had to take my juggling equipment because they weren't going to play, you know, Rensselaer Polytech, GMI, some of these other places, mostly men, mostly engineers, morning shows, you know, table with a megaphone and a table to, you don't want to know. So anyway, I would take my juggling equipment and entertain them, and at least I got something, you know, didn't get killed out there. So that was before we were deciding, you know, whether these schools were appropriate or not. But a lot of the things that I remember are actually off Playfair time in that way. It was the digital, going to digital and being in the helicopter ride, doing the creativity work with you, Andy. I remember that. I remember doing the dance with you when a man loves a woman. It was each group had to present some kind of leading edge thing for the other groups. So you had one group you were looking at and you created this ritual for them, and mine was to dance a slow dance with Andy. So I did a
It
one.
was so beautiful, Karen. It was just so
I remember it. I love it. I love it.
That's what people want to dance with me too. That's amazing.
And then just going to Aruba and, you know, having the time at the Sonesta Island. I mean, all those things that were based on Playfair, but not necessarily the shows. It was a
Karen,
yeah.
thank you so much. That was so beautiful.
Hours.
I have to say goodbye. Thank you. The round of applause for Karen.
I didn't talk about the naked people in the pool, though.
Yeah, no. Hang in there. Hang in there. We're just going to move on to the next person. That was 3 minutes. Okay. Jamila. You're going to meet Jamila.
Go ahead. I'll fix it. So Playfair has afforded me the opportunity to see many states that I never wanted to visit. But I have been able to see beautiful things in those states. And one of those states is the state of New Jersey. And New Jersey has one of my favorite schools, Georgian Court University. And I've been going there for a year since my first year. There was a whole travel snafu my first year. But last year, I had a day off before the show. And I was in Richmond, Virginia, and I was just taking my leisurely time, enjoying Richmond. I had a 4.5-hour drive to Lakewood, New Jersey. But in the afternoon, I found out I had an audition that I needed to put myself on tape for by the next morning. And the next morning, I had a show at Georgian Court. And I was like, shit, I need to get on the road. So I got on the road, and I'm driving, trying to get there. I'm reading the sides, driving, and I call the contact, and I'm like, okay, because at this school, they don't house you in a hotel, they house you on campus. Georgian Court, if you don't know, is a Catholic university, all girls. So I call the contact, I'm like, hey, I need to put myself on tape. Okay, I need to record myself doing an audition. Are there any students there that could come to my room tonight and film me? She's like, no, we're pretty busy. I was like, okay, yeah, just disregard that. I'll see you in the morning. What were you thinking, Jamila? So I check in, I get set up, and I'm really excited about this role. It's like for an HBO miniseries. It's, you know, a role you don't really see black women play. It's a prostitute. So I have to use, I'm using my iPad mini to record myself, talking only to myself because there's no one there to say the other lines, and I have no tripod, you know, and I have to use a stack of Bibles and to put the camera up, you know, further. And I'm like, I am going to hell. But then I thought, hey, Mary Magdalene, okay? Mary Magdalene, okay? So I'm doing the scene, and I'm just not a prostitute. Like, I'm a prostitute to the scene. I'm having sex. So I'm imagining having sex with someone who's not there. I'm recording myself. I do it, and I was like, if I can do that shit during tour, I can do anything. And so what I think what Playfair has kind of allowed me is like just to make decisions fast. There's no time to second guess. Just do what you got to do and do the show, and it'll be fine. And then I was able to use that experience in the show the next day, and I just said, you know, walk across if you're a freak.
Thank you, Jamie. And up next is Andy Mosenter.
Okay. First of all, I have to just say, just Jerome and Gail, so good to see you. So good to see you.
Really great.
I have to connect to Jerome just for a second because we were the two academics. You know, we were involved in leadership development at colleges and universities. But I was the conservative, preppy guy who just resisted all this craziness, but just loved education. And here I was showing up in this incredibly spontaneous, dynamic, wonderful group of loving, compassionate souls. And it just broke me down. Just broke me down in good ways. I want to reflect on, besides the fact that without Jerome, I don't know if I would have made it because I needed one person to say, are they serious? Is this going to make a difference? Is anybody learning it? Anyway, I worked as a director of the Center for Leadership Development at Penn State, and for many years, and then I met Matt Weinstein, who just blew me away, and you know, as an incredible connector and a great community builder and a great community organizer, and I fell in love with Matt. And so when I'm doing a Playfair at Penn State, the place where I worked, and it's 6,000 people, okay? We had 350 orientation leaders I had to organize, right? And 6,000 people. Now, before it goes off, a former employee of mine who worked on my staff said, Andy, we're coming to the Playfair, me and the former intern that you used to work with who ran the orientation program, and I want to ask her to marry me tonight on stage, okay? So I'm like, okay, this is fine. So the most dynamic Playfair ever was people from my staff getting engaged on stage with 6,000 people, giving them a standing ovation, okay?
Oh. 1 more minute.
That was it. The other thing I want to talk about just briefly was, you know how you have your favorite schools, folks, like ones you just love going back to. And so mine was East Tennessee State University. I can't tell you why. I mean, I'm from Philly. I'm from West Philly. I have about as much in common with East Tennessee State University as the last person had with New Jersey, right? So here I am. I'm going to East Tennessee State University, and for some reason, we're just connecting. And at the end of my Playfair, I don't know where it comes from, they pick me up, and they pass me through the entire crowd of people. And first of all, I'm absolutely horrified because deep down inside, I'm an introverted extrovert. So I'm thinking like, don't touch me too much. I'm like, to the world, look at this. And just be careful. Don't let your ego in any way get in front of you with this work. Stay humble. It was the most humbling, wonderful a couple of years of my life of being able to have that kind of opportunity to connect so many young people with each other, break down their defenses, and get them to become, you know, friends more quickly and across some of their boundaries of difference. And I know for me, the most important part of this work is connecting across the boundaries of difference. God bless
That
you.
is such a beautiful thing to say. Thank you, Rich. You never told me that before. Okay. Rich Davidson, ladies and gentlemen.
So what I want to talk about is my very first Playfair, which was in Bakersfield, California. And the short version is it was filled, the room was filled, there were a lot of athletes in the room, football players and other folks who are athletes, and they were very uncomfortable in the session. And were talking among themselves and disrupting. I don't think they were trying to disrupt on purpose, but it was very disruptive. It was hard for people to hear my instructions. It was distracting me. There was a little bit of heckling to me. Again, nothing nasty, but it was really difficult and disrupting for me. And I didn't know what to do. And I tried all the things that I didn't know that I was figuring out at the time about, hey, Playfair is all inclusive and we all want to give space for each other, and tried to give a little space and nothing was working. And what I finally ended up doing is just sort of stopping things and saying, you know what, it seems like there's some folks who really don't want to be here. And if you really don't want to be here, I want to give you permission to get up and leave. No judgment, no hard feelings, but I would really like the folks who want to be here to be able to fully participate. And so most of the folks, I don't remember how many, but it was probably somewhere between 8 and a dozen, got up and walked away to the back of the room and stood there the rest of the Playfair and watched what was going on. And so what I sort of got from that was, this sense of that a lot of the times when there's that kind of energy, it's not necessarily people who don't want to be there, they're just uncomfortable with what's going on. And, I try to figure out different ways to include them, but I decided that was really the best way to handle it at the time. One other one I want to tell you about was, again, early on, before there was a Playfair Canada, but we did Canadian dates. And I flew into Nova Scotia and to do a school there. And I got stopped at customs, or not stopped, but at customs they said, why are you here? And no one had told me not to say, I'm here for work, because that's what I was there for. And they said, well, do you have a work permit? And of course I didn't have one. So they pulled me out of the line, they put me aside, they held me over, they took me to their customs office, and they're keeping me there until they figure out what to do with me. Of course I missed my plane, and I called my contact and let him know it. And I was partially concerned about, missing the show or missing,
30 seconds.
Whether 30 seconds. That's not enough.
1 minute.
1 minute. All right, I'll be quick. But the thing that really concerned me is I had 2 joints in a brown paper bag and one of those ballet bags, So I'm sitting there and I tried to figure out how can I get to my bag. And so I went, and one of the things I decided to do, I had a cup of coffee, and I went in the bathroom and I poured half of it out and I poured cold water in the rest of it, and I went back and sat down, and I pretended to pour the coffee, spill the coffee myself, and said, oh my God, get to my bag so I can get to my clothes. Let me finish. So they said sure, but they watched me go into the. So long story short, they were so nice to me. They actually got me a work permit while I was there, which almost never happens. And just as we're leaving, the guy who had been particularly nice said to the other customs guy, "Hey, do you want to search this guy's bags?" And he goes, "Yeah." And it takes my black bag that had all the magazines and papers and that stuff, and he's going through it page by page by page. And the only thing I could think of to do is, as he was finishing, I picked up my ballet bag and I said, "Do you want to search this one next?" And he said, "No, it's okay." And I got through it, and that was that. And I smoked them that night in the bathtub. And that was the last time I did something like that.
You're a bad boy. That's some serious bad boy stuff.
Great story.
Good story.
Next up is Jerome.
Hey, buddy.
Hey. Hey, buddy, how you doing? I am the reluctant Playfair guy. So all you black folks that are there, you can thank me because I started this person. Like Rick said, I was the guy in the back of the room going, what the fucking good shit going here? And I'm watching Matt, and I'm looking at Matt and going, what's going on? So, and I was participating, and then all of a sudden, they said something about master and slave. At that point, I got up, moved to the back of the room, and I stayed there. It wasn't until the show was over, and I went up to Matt, because I'm a very confrontive person, and I'm from New York, and Matt's from New York, and I said, hey, man, what was that master-slave thing about? And he's like, in the Matt's beautiful way, he's like, whoa, it's about this. And I go, well, this is how I heard it. He goes, wow. And then from there, I became a Playfair person, which was not my plan. My plan was just to talk about how to change the script. And let's talk about the script. I still don't know the script. What I did with the script was I basically looked at what was the intention and then kind of came up with my own way of delivering it. Which didn't make Rich very happy that when he had to train me because he fell asleep during my training, and because I didn't know the script. So that was one aspect. Another great Playfair moment was when I had to do Arkansas, Boston, Milwaukee, and New York in a 48-hour period. I got a call from Barbara Meyer saying, we have an emergency. Somebody's sick, they can't get to these dates, can you cover these dates? I said, sure. 48 hours of craziness. I got to Baltimore and I was sick. I had some sort of allergic reaction. So I asked the person to pick me up. And remember, this was in 1986. And I said, hey, do you know where I can find a massage therapist? They go, massage therapist? Yeah, I need one because I got to get my respiratory system back on track. And you got to realize this is 1986, so massage therapy in 1986 meant what?
Sex.
Yeah, happy endings. So I had the massage therapist. I went and did the date, and that was a wonderful experience that I didn't want to repeat again. But what I got out of Playfair was this wonderful ability that Matt has always allowed is for people to explore and discover and express themselves. And I really have always been grateful to Matt for that. I also got a true love for the state of Arkansas, which was amazing. I would have never thought. 1 minute, okay. I never would have thought that I would have loved Arkansas, but I loved Arkansas, and I used to go down to Arkansas Tech with Jimmy Ferguson, and we became lifetime friends. And finally, the one thing I love about Playfair was that when I cooked ribs, the vegetarians ate them. And that was always amazing to me, that I had the ability to change someone's eating habits just by cooking ribs. So it's been a wonderful experience, and of course, I met this lady. Yeah. Who picked me up in Matt's house. She'll tell you about that. But I didn't know what was going on, but here we are 28 years later.
Jerome, that was truly beautiful. Okay, so next up is Gil, also known as Ryan.
Hello, all. Hello. I've been kind of dreading this a little bit, and also I feel like this is the first time that a lot of the founders or the older generation and us has just been a better ratio than it typically is, and so I feel almost I'm embarrassed to be talking about myself when I feel like I'd rather be hearing about all of you. But let me talk about things I hate about Playfair. I hate to travel. I hate the expectation that I'm going to put on a good show. The feeling of loneliness, the being away from the ones I love. And then let me tell you about the things I love about Playfair. I love the travel, the being by myself, forced to be with myself, the expectation of making myself produce a good show, beyond any assistance from the colleges themselves, usually, and the experience of being with this group of people and the way that it makes me feel, the way that it helps with my personal growth. I heard Bernie talk about just the gaming aspect of it, and I think Matt brought the heart to it, you know, and something about my own personal growth. I could not imagine being a person that I was without this experience that I have now. I wouldn't have asked the woman that I was supposed to be with to marry me after this last Playfair experience, because I don't think I would have had the courage to accept me for my faults, as well as the strengths that are somewhere deep embedded in me. I don't know if I would have had the sort of courage and confidence if I didn't feel that from each and every one of you. I said to somebody earlier, I feel like my heart has all this love, and Playfair just kind of rips up in a little bigger part of it. And instead of it just leaking out like it does, it shoots out like a fire hose, or like a fire hydrant, just shooting up into the air. For the sake of brevity, the younger generation, I'm going to end it there. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gil. And Gail.
Great. Hello, everyone. Start off just acknowledging you, Matt, that I just think it's incredible that 40 years later, you've taken something and allowed it to grow and expand and become a student of it, and we all get to be part of it, and I'm in awe and feel graced by you and just love you so much, and it's an honor to be here to celebrate everyone and to celebrate you. It's actually 30 years, almost to the day, that Jerome and I met each other. And we were at your house, Matt, and there were not enough beds. And the first night, I actually was sleeping in bed with you, Matt, in your king-size bed. And then your girlfriend showed up, and there was no place for me, and the only other bed was the pull-out couch, which Jerome had. So darn it, I had to sleep with Jerome. And that started everything, and here we are 30 years later. So thank you for this. Yeah. The thing I want to talk about that I think stands out the most is that when I started Playfair, it was, I think, 82. I saw Matt at a professional development training. I loved what he did. I was a wallflower, and I stalked him with phone calls and letters. He had no idea who I was, but I was determined to become a Playfarian. And back then, there was no script, like Karen said, and we were a company, a virtual company, and Karen and Matt and Jerry and Amo and Krista, there were a handful of us. But my training, I remember, the thing that stands out so profoundly to me was that Jerry Namgile was my main trainer, and he...
1 minute. 1 minute.
He introduced me to the night energy, because we would stay up to incredible hours talking about life and spirit and philosophy and weave in Playfair, and somehow I did incredible work. And the script, I don't remember any script, but it came out of being encouraged to let my heart expand, my beauty be showcased, brought out the funny side of me, and I was able to take that into such a wide variety of schools, and just loved every bit of it. So thank you all, and good luck to you all, having a great season ahead.
That was beautiful. And next we have David. No, sorry, not David. Next we have Fran. Fran. AKA Baby Fran.
Well, let's start with that. Why I am called Baby Fran. There are two reasons. One, there was Biagio Fran, who was here many years ago, and she was this beautiful singer, much taller than me, as most people are. So there was a little bit of that. There was Biagio Fran and there was Baby Fran. Then there was also my very first year at Retreat, where I hadn't done any shows yet, and we're sitting around in a circle, and envelopes got passed out, and Matt said, we had a really great year, so I'm going to take everybody into downtown Calistoga, and we're all going to get mud baths and massages, and we opened up our envelopes, and we got walking money. Oh, and I opened it up and went, Daddy Matt! Oh my God! I love this place. There was that. And actually there was a third reason, which was from Street Sounds. Hearing them sing that song, and Matt and I really connected on losing people that we love to death. And it was the first time that I ever saw Matt cry as hard as he laughed. And I'd never seen any other human being be able to go from 0 to 1 that quickly. And he became my dad. I lost everything that I was going to talk about right now from being in there. Okay, so we used to do this thing where we would nap in the middle of the day because we would be tired. So we were told to bring our pillows into the lodge and blankets or whatever else, and we would all lay out and just kind of take a nap. And I think somebody had a guitar or somebody would sing songs. Biagio would sing to us. And then it would just get quiet, and I thought, well, maybe we should like meditate a little bit. So I started saying, Om, and then everybody would go, Om. And I said, Om, and they would all go, Om. We also had a guy named Amo who was in Playfair back then, so I would tie his name into it and go, Amo, and everybody would say, Amo, and it turned into, I'm getting sleepy. I'm gonna close my eyes now. And they would all repeat, and it became, I'm gonna kick your ass. All sorts of things came out of that, and from that I became Guru Nappy, and it became a regular thing that we would meet, and Guru Nappy would take us into this spot. And the last thing, I keep losing it every time I get there. I have a whole other minute to talk. What's that? The Peasants' Revolt, yes. So, you know, after 10 years, you get brought into the Emperor's court, and there's a whole, like, ceremony that you get, and it's very luxuriating. I don't know. I didn't have another word to use. Which meant, we realized, when I wasn't in the court yet, because they would have secret meetings without us, and the rest of us would have nothing to do but be told to be here. So we decided, wow, it's like the Emperor's court, there's this caste system, and now we're the peasants. So we kind of decided to own that, and we made a peasants' revolt up in Canada. And we had stockings that we threw on our faces, and we looked like robbers, and we were dressed like, and we talked like pirates because we thought pirates were like peasants. And we had demands. First of all, we kidnapped the emperor and we hid him. And we said they weren't going to get their emperor back unless they met our demands. And one of them was we were going to have meat at every meal. And we stood in front of the emperor's court and asked for that. We said, we're going to have meat. And the emperor's court said, we want that too. And we're like, wait, no, shut up. You guys are supposed to fight us on this. Then we said, well, we want alcohol at our retreats, and they're like, yes, we want beer. We're like, shut up. It's our revolt. And then I look back, and I see my fellow peasants have been attacked by the fucking court. They've taken their stockings, and they've tied them all together. And every peasant is going like this. They can't walk around. And the damn Emperor's court took over our revolt. We were not over, but we did get meat and we got alcohol.
Oh, God. Oh, what about the shack? The love shack. Did anybody talk about the love shack?
That was the most beautiful Playfair history, for sure. Lakeisha.
Hello. So I'm a little nervous to do this. I don't know why. I've been dreading it, like Gil said. I think the two things that I'm going to talk about, one, somebody's show or the way that they run their show that really inspires me is Gio, and he's not here right now. But the Who Inspires You portion is something that really, really, I just enjoy, and I feel like it fits me in a way, like I can just settle down for a second and I've got control of them. And also the stories that I hear. It's often, of course, moving, and the students are really sharing themselves, and I'm always moved by the way that they're moved by my story to get up and just be vulnerable enough to speak in front of these strangers. And that's always just incredible to me. And I'm like, wow, I get to do this thing. The second thing, actually I'll talk about three things if I have time. The second thing is, she's like, stickler. The second thing is just being a part of Playfair in general. It allows me, as an actor, I enjoy taking on different characters. And I think someone might have said this earlier in the retreat. But being a part of Playfair allows me to tap into Lakeisha and be me as a performer, which is cool but also terrifying. And I know this year and last year, my focus and objective was to be as much myself as I possibly could and not be this cheerleader person and be like, okay, people aren't gonna accept the negative, Lakeisha, so I have to be, yeah! And while I still, try to be outside of myself a little bit, I do try to just stay as grounded as possible, and that's such a huge lesson, and it speaks volumes to the rest of my life as a performer, as a person, and of course, you lovely people, and being here, it's just a beautiful experience. The third thing that I'll talk about is having the opportunity to go to Spelman, which is my school that I went to for undergrad, and I'm still under a minute?
One more minute.
All right, going to Spelman, I went to Spelman, and Spelman is this beautiful place that molded me into the woman that I am. And to go there, when I went my first year, I think 3 years ago, I was so excited. I was amped, and I was not trying to be amped Lakeisha, cheerleader Lakeisha, but I was genuinely like, oh my God, guys, I'm so excited. And they were just kind of like, hey. I got a little upset about that, and I was like, oh. Okay, well, look at y'all. But anyway, we ended up having a really good time, and I'm always excited to go back because it's actually a dream. It was a dream of mine, and I feel like I still am living the dream to go back to Spelman, this illustrious institution, and share and teach and be and give back to my community. That was a dream my freshman year before I even got there, and I get to live that dream because of you, Matt. And I really appreciate that, and I appreciate the fuel that I get every year from these retreats. And I love you guys. Thank you.
Last on our program this afternoon is J.W. Walterman.
That was my fourth or fifth year. This is a terrible angle. So it's my fourth or fifth year in Playfair. I was a veteran at this point, and I knew what I was doing. And I inherited a tour from Benito, which is the smallest towns you've never wanted to go to in your life. And I land first one I land in Denver, and I got to drive like 3 hours. It's all driving. My tour's all driving. So I land in Denver, and I go up to the car rental place. I give them, before they even ask, I got my license, credit card out. I'm like, all right, let's get going. And she's like, oh, I can't rent you a car. I'm like, what do you mean you can't rent me a car? They're like, your license is expired. I'm like, what? My birthday had been a couple weeks earlier, and I didn't think to check my license. And so, well, I'm like, well, obviously you can rent me a car. I'm an adult. You can rent me a car. No, we can't rent you a car. They would not rent me a car. So I didn't know what to do. So I got on a bus, went 3 hours, did the tour, had one of the contact person drive me back to the airport. But I'm thinking, what am I going to do? I have to drive all over Texas. And so I'm talking to my parents, and my dad's like, well, I got a buddy I went to Vietnam with. He's in Dallas. I had to talk to him for a few years. I'll give him a call. I'm like, all right. So this guy with the mustache and cowboy boots shows up at the airport, and introduces himself, picks me up, takes me to his house. I meet his family. We stay there. He drives me 3 hours down south to some small town in Texas where I did a show. Drives me 3 hours back and let me stay there another day. We hung out. He's the sweetest guy. But he couldn't, the next day, he couldn't get me to this other place, which is another 3 hours away in a different direction. And I'm like, all right, so I put an ad on Craigslist saying, I need a ride share. I need a ride. Nobody reads ride share to give rides. So then I decided to put an ad in the dating site. So I put an ad and I said, anybody want to go on a date? Anybody want to go on a date for 2 hours? And I explained, I need to get from here to there, and I'll buy you lunch. And so this woman answered my ad, and I'm waiting for her at the hotel, and the door's open, and in walks this woman, striking human being. I mean, she's like 6'2", and big boots, and I don't remember what else she's wearing, and she introduced herself. Her name's Octavia, and I'm like eternally grateful. I'm like, thank you so much. And so we start driving. I'm getting her story, and she's a Renaissance fair musician. Oh, no. She writes improv songs and plays improv songs about dragons and stuff. And as we're going along, it's like a 3 hour ride. About an hour in, I made the mistake of asking her about her relationships or something. And she's like, oh, I get a lot of attention because of the size of my breasts. And I'm like, you probably can't see them right now, but, they're very ample. And then she begins to continue talking about her breasts and how large her breasts are. And I can't jump out of the car because I got another 80 miles to go. but we may. All I'm thinking is she could take me. She could take me. It is a possibility. And so we got to the hotel, and I did a quick kind of exit out of the car, and I was like, thank you so much. And then but she's like, she got out of the car, and she's like, well, you want me to come in and, make sure everything? I'm like, no, it's great. I mean, thank you. Thank you so much for the ride. And so Octavia and I have been together 7 years.
Oh, that's wonderful.
That was insanely beautiful indeed. All right, so this is the end of our 2 to 3 o'clock piece, but more people. If you people want to stay on, we have room for 9 different frames. So Jerome and Gail, you want to stay, you can be one. And as the new people arrive, if more than 9 altogether show up, we'll ask you, one of you or 2 of you, to leave, and then we will continue.
Yeah, I have to go. So I have to go. I can't stay.
Okay.
But
Yeah, okay, great. So we'll have a minute or two break, and then some more people will probably come on. So thank you all.
Hey, Matt.
Hey, can we talk to Matt for a minute?
Matt.
Matt, can we talk to Matt for a minute?
Yeah,
Hey,
hey, girl.
Can we talk to Matt for a minute?
Yeah. Hey, Gail.
Oh,
Hey, buddy.
What's happening?
hey, sweetheart. Great to see you.
I know. Great to see you guys, too.
Yeah.
Wasn't that sweet?
Where are you? What facility are you at?
We are back at the original Rainbow Ranch, which has a new much more upscale, but we had a bed bug problem last year, actually, at our old ranch. And so, hey, did somebody just join us? I can't even see who's,
Shannon. Remember Shannon?
That is in between you and Andy.
Oh, yeah.
Say hi.
Yeah.
Squeezing in there.
Hey. Yeah. I can see her. Yeah. Great seeing you.
Good to see you guys. Matt, you've got so much going on. I will talk to you later. Love you, buddy.
Mwah. Say hi, Matt. Thanks so much.
Gail, I miss you guys. Love to see you. Loving seeing you. Bye-bye. Rich, take care, buddy. Karen. Bye, sweetie.
Bye, Andy.
Bye-bye.
People were anyway, you said, all right, people were flying in from, New York for the retreat, and I was saying to, hey, Callie, hi, welcome. Hey, we're just on a very quick break, but we're with you, on in a sec. Great to see you. But I just was telling to Jerome and Gail that I was saying, I hope the people from New York get to the retreat on time, and she reminded me we had that problem many years ago with going to Ukiah Gang.
Yeah.
There's nothing new under the Playfair sun here.
Yeah.
So you guys are doing the date again at Fullerton too.
Yeah, that's crazy.
We have a tour of one.
A tour of one.
The power of one.
Yeah. One good show can go a long way for you, though.
Right.
Bliss was here. Yeah. Great. So you can be up at the. I know you're kind of rushed, Callie, but as soon as we get back together, you can be at the top of the hour. Wow. Are you dressed up for your? Are you on the show? No. You have the day off today, right? You're not shooting today, right?
But they're doing my hair and my nails and stuff today.
Wow, that's great. So, are you getting ready to shoot the thing tomorrow? Then is that why you're getting your hair and nails done?
Yeah. Well, they'll do it tomorrow, but this straightening it takes a while, so they had me do that today.
Yeah.
Great. And then, Mark Gessner got a little role in this episode that we're shooting now.
He's in your episode? Oh, isn't that fun?
Yeah, he did it. He has a really funny scene in the opening sequence.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
I guess that him being at the reading actually helped him get cast in something, right?
I mean, I was excited because he was really good in the reading, but what sucks is that he was up for a lead role, and so now that he's played this role, I don't think he can be in it anymore.
Hey, Calissa.
How are you?
I had to get married because you never came back to tour.
I know. I miss.
I waited as long as I could.
Well, I don't know your wife, but she seems awesome.
She's good. Miss you here.
Miss you guys. I'm sad I'm not there, but.
Yeah.
Hey, Matt, has Krista talked yet? Have you talked to Krista yet? Has she been on anything yet? Krista?
I know he left. I'm trying to get this. Yeah. Oh, what do you say? I think he asked something about a prenup. I couldn't quite.
Prenup?
Has Krista spoken yet?
Krista spoken.
No, Krista hasn't spoken yet. We're hoping she might come in on this one. She was due yesterday, and there was some kind of electrical storm out in New Mexico where she is, and so it took her internet down, so she couldn't.
I just want to say hi to Callie. Hey, Callie.
Hi.
I miss you. I miss you so much. It's like not even like funny.
I'm sad I'm not there.
Especially during Werewolf last night.
Ah!
I know. I was like, why isn't Callisto here to be the werewolf? You know, Matt was the werewolf, and it was.
Me and Jonathan found the whole village.
They killed me because they knew that I knew, because I killed off Pookie first, and then they all started looking at me, and I was dead the next round. I was like, 'cause you know, I was coming for you. I was coming for you.
Yes, you were. Yes, you were.
I'm so happy to see you.
Happy to see you too. It looks beautiful there.
It is incredible. Like, I really hope that we all can be here next year, because this place is amazing.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. It's the bomb.
You went late, right?
Huh?
You went a couple days later than other people, or did you go on time?
No, I got here Friday night, like at 12:30 at night. So imagine driving down that long, winding road at 12:30 at night. I was like, I'm going to die.
No.
It was so scary. It was the darkest. I would look in the rearview mirror and it was just black. I was like, all right, just keep going. Just keep going.
You got
just keep going. Yes. I will never be doing that again.
Not. Love you.
But I love you.
Love you.
Here comes Jamila.
Why aren't you here? Huh? Huh? Am I ever going to see you?
Never.
Never.
Forget.
Fine. Great.
Bye, Felicia.
Okay.
Okay.
Hi. Hi.
I see you, Playfellow.
I miss you.
Hey, Pookie, thanks for organizing all this. Well done.
Yeah, how do you
Yeah.
Car. Hello.
Hi, Kelly. Hi, how are you? I'm good. We've never met.
No, but I see you on the Facebook, and I hear your name all the time.
And I see you on this. We watched you today.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, from Lawrence Tech, what I shot of you last year doing Hype Man.
Oh, I'm embarrassed.
Don't
No,
be
you were
embarrassed.
great.
Oh my God, you're beautiful. Hey, y'all.
Hey, Kaka.
Yeah, Callisto.
Kaka, are you in London or are you back in Canada?
I think we can go. Let's say goodbye to Matt.
Bye, Matt.
Mwah. Bye, Matt. We're taking off.
Guys.
Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Oh, your hair looks great. Sorry.
This looks pretty well, huh?
Uh-oh. Hi. It's frozen. Hmm.
Um,
Hello?
Oh, hey, okay, we're back.
Okay.
Great. But what about Carla? Did she disappear in the interim?
It was just me and her for a second. We were just looking at each other.
Yeah. Okay, well, maybe she'll come back on. Okay, good. That seems to have helped it. Okay?
Ready for Callie?
Let's take a look at Callie's house. Is that her apartment?
This is my friend's house because I'm taking care of their dog right now.
Okay. Why aren't you here? How come you never come anymore?
I'm shooting something.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Lexi. I'm new.
I'm Callie.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Hello, Callie.
Hi, who are you?
It's Darian.
Hi, oh, duh!
God, duh.
Blurry. It's blurry.
What show you on? You get too big, you can't remember people now. That's what's going on. Doing too much work.
Shut up. Hi.
Hey, Calissa.
What?
Bye.
Goodbye. That's nice. Everybody's really nice here.
Hey, Callie.
Hi, Cookie. How are you?
So we're going to start, and I am going to time you, and after 2 minutes, I'm going to give you 1 more minute. I'll give you a 1 more minute announcement.
Okay.
And then I'll let you know by "This is beautiful" when we're done. All
Okay.
right?
I'm supposed to say one. Wait. I'm supposed to say just say one memory.
Whatever you want. Anything you want. Whatever you want in the time you have.
Oh, this is stressful. Okay, great.
Okay. Okay. Oh, darn. We got frozen again. She's frozen.
No, I'm not. I'm here.
Start talking.
Oh my God. Okay. So I have many memories, but first of all, the only person, well, no, that's a lie, but I was really excited about the retreat the first year because I really like talking about my feelings. And so going to the retreat and having people be so open and just speak from the truth of where they are was really moving. And it's making me emotional right now just because I'm kind of sad that I'm not there with all of you. Yeah. So then the other part isn't really about, I have 3 things. The other part isn't about Playfair proper, but it's just about, even when we were just joining Playfair, it was Keisha, Alex, and I. And since we joined Playfair, they've kind of become some of the most important people in my lives. So I just want to thank Playfair for giving me Keisha and Alex. And then I got to do this Playfair this year that was an engagement Playfair for a couple that met. They met during Playfair, and the guy surprised the girl by making a fake Playfair. So getting all of her friends and family together and doing Playfair for them. And I thought that was really beautiful. That's something that we do, that we just do an hour and a half can be so special and be a part of people's entire lives. So that felt really rushed and frenetic, but that is what I have to say. Am I good?
Oh yeah. No, you're still good. You're still good. You got a minute. You got 2 more minutes.
Oh my God! I only used 1 minute. Okay, so in that case, I really also love Gil a lot. And for some reason, he's somebody that I don't know very, very well. But somehow I just feel like, Gil, you are very special, and we've only connected a couple times, but I always looked forward to seeing you at the retreat because I feel like you're somebody who sees me, and I'm very happy for you and all the beautiful things that appear to be happening in your life right now, and your wonderful wife and all of that. So it even meant a lot that you just came up to say hi, because not that you all don't mean a lot, you all do. But I don't know, now I'm nervous and I feel frenetic, so I'm just gonna sit and look at you all now.
You still have, Callie, you still have a whole minute left.
Oh my God, werewolf. I love being the werewolf, and I can't play that game anywhere else in life. So thank you, Playfair, for werewolf, and I'm sorry I'm not there. You guys, this is the lamest ever. I suck at this. I'm sorry. All right, I'm just gonna sit here now. I don't know what else to say. Hi, everybody. Is it over yet?
10, 9, 8, 7 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, now I hang up.
Thank you, Holly. So we're going to alternate that. Welcome back, Car. We're going to alternate in the room and with you. So next up is Lane.
Hi, I'm Lane. I don't know any of you. It's so nice to meet you, though. Oh, I'm just saying hi. I'm gonna stand up. So I would just start by saying that I got really nervous, like some of you have already said, Lakeisha, because you're just hilarious, and people are hilarious here. And I always think that I have to do something funny or something, actor-like, and that's not really who I am. And just one of the biggest things that I've gotten out of Playfair is just owning who I am. So just thank you for that. So this is not going to be very funny. Yeah. Okay. But what I do want to say is that that last year, this is sort of a culmination of just lessons learned. Last year was one of the lowest points in my life. It was a really, really hard year for me. Emotionally, things were going on. Things were just happening in my life. There was a lot of stuff going on, the bed bug whole incident. And then just in general with the world, I was really, really taking in a lot. And I shared this at last year's retreat, just with all the shootings and all this stuff. I was just in a low place. And I really wasn't sure how I was going to do tour, if I could do tour. And I got to the retreat, and we were able to kind of share and be ourselves, and I really just was emotional in a way I hadn't felt in a really long time here. And the thing that I got out was that a few things. The first is that I wasn't really sure what my place was in this company, knowing that I was the only non-actor. And I was like, what am I doing here? How do I be myself? And what I really realized was that in the face of everything that was going on, that we collectively, and particularly how I could own this, was to really be like evangelist. No, that's not really what I want to say. Evangelist. But just really evangelists of love and community, and just these moments and pockets of bringing people together. And that in the face of all the chaos, and even though Playfair is at times really chaotic, it's really these like cells or communities where people can come together and be together. And if I could keep that as my intention, as who I am as a facilitator, that we were making good in the world. That was the first thing. And the second thing was, thank goodness I was able to be vulnerable, and what happened as a result of that was an opportunity to, I already knew this Playfair community was vast and expansive and community oriented, but I had this opportunity to really get to know some of you through that, and just the way that you showed up was mind-boggling. I've never had anyone in my life show up like that. And my voicemail is always full. I'm so sorry, Matt. But it's because I have 9 voice messages from Chris, who just left voice message after voice message after voice message of support that I will never let go of. I've listened to them multiple times out of support, and he is crazy on them, and it is the best. And I love it. Stoned out of his mind, and it's just wonderful. I love it. But the last thing is that I was really also just upset with the state of the world, and I was doing my tour, and I had this one show in Idaho, and I was going to 2 weddings on Saturday, and the show was on a Sunday, and I had a morning wedding, and then that night I had a wedding, and then I had to fly the next day at like 6 in the morning to go to the show, and I got off the plane, and then I had to drive like 4 hours, and I was like, going to be in the middle of nowhere. I was excited, but I was also like, this is going to be really stressful. What I didn't realize was that in order to get to the show, which by the way was at summer camp, and it was amazing, but in order to get to the show, I had to drive through a national park. And it was in Idaho, and I had never in my mind thought there was going to be this national park in the middle of Idaho. And I'm driving, and I'm like, holy crap, I can't wait to get on GroupMe and take a photo of this and share this with everybody, because I was so excited about our community. But of course, my cell phone wasn't working, and I was like, crap, I'm alone in this. And I'm driving, and there's like a creek and the river and, mountains, and stopped the car. There's no cars. I just stopped the car and I rolled down my window and I just shouted like, "America is beautiful!" And it was just this moment of realizing that what we're doing and what we get to experience is beautiful.
Exactly.
So thank you.
Thank you, Lane. Okay, next up is Karkar, AKA Carla. Carla, we can't hear you. She can't hear us either. Oh. No. Carla, we can't hear you. Your mic is muted.
Well, it wasn't before. I think her mic is not.
It says mute, yeah.
Karkar, the mute button is on. Karkar, the mute, it's showing you. Oh, now it's off. Okay.
It was like that. It's okay. Our settings, something's going on for microphone settings. Like the microphone. I'm going to write it down.
You know, maybe poke around and see if there's some microphone button or something, Karkar.
Call you on the phone and be happy to sync up with her mouth.
Oh, that's an idea.
Call on the phone.
Karkar, call me on, let's see now. How are we going to amplify this?
Yo, check the settings on her computer.
Oh yeah, I can push. I can. I can put her into this. Okay. So okay, yeah. We can do that. So Carla, if you will call me on 530-304-4037, I'll hook my cell phone up to the speaker here, and we'll see if we can hear you that way. And maybe. It looks like she's dialing. I don't know. Let's see. Hey, Dave. Just like the old days, huh? Oh, you're just getting my phone. Oh, okay.
Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh too loud. I just found that.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, so how about Dave?
Dave Thomas, yeah.
All right.
All right, Dave, you're up.
Oh, wow. All right. First of all, I'd like to apologize because I am late. I was supposed to be at 2 o'clock, but I couldn't get reception. It was horrible. Anyway. Hello, everyone. I can't see any faces, but hello. I just wanted to briefly say thank you, Matt, and thank you, Miles. I don't know, is Miles still there? Because I did see the YouTube stuff yesterday on Miles, but is Miles there?
No.
He's not. All right. Well, I'll have to thank him some other time.
Miles,
I also want to thank Rich real quick as well. All right, so I guess I'll just get to my story real quick. Essentially, it was, I believe, my first year, maybe it was my second year. I was doing a show with Steve Rosen, my incoming classmate to Playfair. And I don't remember the name of the college, and I guess that's not important. But what happened was we bombed. It was terrible. It was still, to date, the worst show I've ever experienced in my entire life, and particularly in Playfair. Because people were leaving in masses. I mean, it was just like, oh, okay, no one wants to be here. And we tried our hardest. We gave our best effort. And then I later ended up connecting with Matt after the show. And then Matt asked me how the show went, and I said, oh, it was terrible. But I would like the opportunity to redeem myself, but, it was awful. And he said, oh, I wish I could have gone to that show. And I said, oh, no, you don't understand. It was awful. It was terrible. And he said, no. See, I wish I did go to it because, the easy shows, anyone can have a great time in the easy shows, but you really get the most out of the difficult shows. And so that's the shows that I really like to go to. And I said, oh, okay, well, then you would have loved this one because it was... And so then 2 years later, the school had switched representatives for their activities there, an incoming freshman class, and decided they wanted to bring Playfair back. And so I was put on that schedule. So I get the schedule and I'm looking at it and I see the school and I started to panic. I was like, oh my gosh, they must have made a mistake. They must have made a mistake. So I went to Matt and said, hey, is there a mistake on my schedule? He's like, no, everybody's schedule is set up properly. It's all ready to go. And he kind of shot me this look like he knew what I was asking. And then at the same time, I wasn't sure, so I didn't bring it up. So I went back, and back then we did everything in writing. I don't know how you guys do your schedules now, but back then we did everything in writing, spent the day just dealing with travel and all that. And so then, I'm sorry, what?
1 minute.
Oh, okay. All right, so real quick. So then all of a sudden, I went and did the show again. I told Matt I was going to change it up. I did it again, and it went great. And from that year on, they started bringing me back every single year. And so I went to Matt and I said, man, I don't know if you did this on purpose to set me up, but thanks for letting me redeem myself and having another opportunity to really fulfill what you were talking about in terms of you learn your most from your worst shows, so to speak. That was it.
Yay.
Luke, before you go, I want to just say,
Rich.
Hey, Dave. I just want to tell people that Dave actually and Benito actually wanted to be here this weekend, and they tried what they could, and we didn't have room for them here, and it turned out, I said, well, why don't you make hotel reservations somewhere else in town until I know if we can pitch in here, and there's something else going on. I don't remember what you said it was, but the whole place was booked. But they were going to come up on their own ticket and their own dime, and really wanted to be here, and I'm so sorry we couldn't make it happen for you.
Jeez,
No, I'm here now. I'm here now. This is great.
I would have slept with either of you if I'd known.
That would have worked for me. That works for me.
Just kindness, you know. Jen.
So I'm going to bring everybody down. In the last couple of years, when I think it was right around the time that I was diagnosed with my autoimmune, and I couldn't walk, and I had to use like a shower stool, and I was in so much pain that I wanted to move to Oregon for the Right to Die Act. I realized how short life is and how much we have to do before it's over, and how much more I needed to do for me, for my kids, for my friends before it was over. And so then there was this will and this fight. And you guys have been a consistent family for me for 8 years now. And people that I've known for 20 years, or 15 years, or 13 years. And it links into a story from McKendree where I did Who Inspires Me. And it was the first year I had tried it. And a girl gets up there and she's like, and I didn't review the story beforehand. Like I didn't know how to do that. And she gets up and she's like, see, I never wanted to go to college. And I was like, like I totally messed up on who I'd chosen. And it was never in her plans. And then her best friend was diagnosed with diabetes. And within like 4 months of the diagnosis, she was in hospice. And she sat down with her friend, and her friend said, I've always wanted to go to college. I've always wanted to go. And she named the school we were at, and it's an all-girls school in Indiana. You know, something that maybe, I don't know, it was, she might have been out of place, except she told this story, and she applied to that college for her friend and promised her friend that she would endure and take over for her as like a legacy. And I was blown away by that. And this was all happening all around the same time. And my children were babies. And I just thought to myself, this life needs to be crammed with so much good. And that is what we do here. Going back to the good of retreat, my first year was Megan's fertility ritual. And it was by far the most spiritual thing I have ever gone through. And I feel like you, me, and Otter are we the only ones that were there that day that are in this room now? And Pookie. And it was amazing to me. And then the following year, I had a miscarriage. And I called Matt up and I was like, Matt, hook me up with that fertility ritual. And then by the time retreat came around, I was with child. And I said, is there something we can do to protect this little person? And Otter took me through it. He made me a bracelet, and everybody said a prayer and put a bead on the bracelet. And now I have 2 gorgeous kids, and the second kid was conceived in McMinnville, Oregon, where I do my show for Linfield College. So I just want to say, like, there's power in Playfair. That's it. That's it.
All right, just hang on a second. This is a message Marlon is watching on the YouTube, but he did not get the link. So I'm going to just send it to Marlon right now so he can join us on here. Let's see, YouTube. Okay, here we go. Okay, Marlon, hang in there. Oh, here we go, Marlon. Okay, Marlon, I'm sending you the link right now. The link. Oops. The link. Okay, hopefully, Marlon, you're still on there. And outgoing. Okay, there it is. So, Marlon, we look forward to seeing you soon. And back to you, Boots.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, Karkar, shall we try again? Say something. No. We still can't hear you. Do you want to try? Can you hear us, right? Do you want to call Matt? Yes. Yes. Yeah, she does. So she's going to call Matt on the. You have the number from before? No, she doesn't have the number. You don't have.
No, 531.
531. Sorry, Matt doesn't know his own phone number.
146.
Hang on, 530. 530.
304.
304.
4037.
4037. We await your call. Okay, she's got her phone there. Yeah.
Yeah. Keep in mind it's delayed too. It's delayed as well.
Just like your
Keep
voice.
in mind again.
Why don't you call her?
Ask her to type her. Wait,
It went to voicemail.
Tell her to type her phone number.
I know her phone number.
Oh, she can?
Do you want to call her?
Yes.
Okay.
Matt is calling you.
Matt's calling you.
Matt is calling you.
Matt is calling you.
She should be calling you, she should be calling her.
Tell me when you're ready.
I was calling.
Hey! So
All right. Hey, hang on, Tucker. Are you hearing anything?
Okay, here we go.
All right, we got to keep really quiet, guys.
I feel like you did the wrong end. You put this in this is the speaker, right? So this is the end that should go into the phone.
Oh, you're totally right. All right, hang on a second, Kaka. Okay, try it again.
You hear me now? Well, thanks for holding on for the technical challenges. Memories of Playfair. There's so many. I'm hearing myself twice, so I'm turning this down. Okay, good. So, I probably know those of you in the room who are older, because I started in Playfair in 1988 when I was still in university, and it was like completely life-changing. I remember the ropes course was, I think, one of the first things I ever did with Playfair, where we had to like push each other up over a wall. It was intense right from the start, and I would say some of the closest people in my life are from Playfair, Canadians and Americans. So there's something about what you do in Playfair, what we do together at the retreat that everyone's talking about, that's very bonding, that it brings out kind of the best in everybody, and we touch each other's hearts, and you don't always get that in everyday life. So, and it goes from all extremes of emotions and realness. And then the intensity of being out on the tour is another intent. I just, I was kind of shy when I first started, and I had to become very big and bold to do Playfair, and that had a huge effect in all areas of my life. I just came back from 2 months in Europe. I just literally arrived back, and I have like suitcases that are not unpacked, and my house was all the phones were unplugged, and so I'm just literally jet lagged and landed. And I mean, now I'm a speaker. I go all over the world and I speak because of Playfair. So if I hadn't, I was just like an actor and a college student. So it brought me into a whole life that I treasured my whole life, and so that spirit of play and fun is something that I bring into all my relationships. So I think I can't hear anybody, so in case you're talking to me, I'm going to turn this up again. In case somebody's telling me 1 minute.
Yes, 1 minute. 1 minute.
Okay. So I am deeply grateful to everyone who was part of starting Playfair and keeping it forward, and Matt's vision of holding it together all these 40 years. And I feel deeply grateful to have been part of it for the time that I was part of it. And for those of you who have touched my heart, who are sitting there, I can't see you, you're in silhouette, but my heart goes out to you, giving you big hugs and kisses. And for those of you I've never met, I'll give you a big, warm Playfair hug as well. Thank you. Bye.
Yes.
Put this back into the
speaker. Oh, into the computer.
That I have been.
Before the next person comes up, I got another little message from Marlon. Let me make sure that we sent it to the right place because he didn't seem to be able to come on. All right, hang on. Let me just do this one more time.
We're getting ourselves in it.
Oh, okay. So I sent it to Marlon by suggest by choice, but he wants to send it to Marlon at. Okay. Marlon Smith at Gmail. Okay, got it. Okay. All right, so Marlon, hopefully we'll see you soon, because I just sent you the link again. Let's see now. Okay.
Okay. The table? The problem before was that I don't want this. I don't want to see myself in the video. Okay. Next up, Christopher.
Hello, everybody online amongst the world. David, I actually met you before in Los Angeles years ago.
I do remember.
Yes, sir. Good to see you, my man. Actually, I was at the Beverly Hills Hotel to see Matt speak. But anyway, Playfair, some of my most memorable moments. I have been with the company about 8-9 years now. And tons of things. I do have a Craigslist story. Didn't go that well. No, I'm kidding. Mine's went actually okay. But when I think of the most memorable moments, the only thing I can really think of is when I first got the gig Playfair. As an actor, all my life, I've always wanted to, I knew it was going to be in front of people, you know, people in my childhood was like, oh, you're going to be a pastor, you're going to be a pastor, you know. Okay. So then I knew it was going to be something positive, you know, but I knew it wasn't going to be in a church. I love to travel. I, you know, don't mind being by myself. You know, love, you know, people in my childhood was like, well, you're going to be a pastor. You're going to be a pastor, you know. Okay. Oh, let's go in. Okay. Put that young mute it. You know, what? You know, like that? Like that? Okay, cool. Hello. Hi, how are you? One of the dearest moments, once I knew I got Playfair, was like, wow, this is where I'm supposed to be, this is where, and I just knew it for sure. And just one of my greatest moments is, unfortunately, some of you know, my mom was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer back in 2009. And she was diagnosed like in February, and first it was just an itch because of jaundice, and it was no big deal, you know. Well, as time went on, months went on, we found out a couple months later that it was actually pancreatic cancer. So it was like, okay, so we just dealt with it, and that's, you know, how we did. And then finally got to summertime, I'm about to go on a Playfair tour, and we find a specialist in the pancreatic surgical area that says, you know what, the previous doctor says that she was inoperable, but I see that we can do something of it. So I think we should operate, go for it, and, you know, we can eradicate the cancer as much as we can, and then start a process of healing and wholeness after that. So this is great news, but unfortunately the operation was scheduled the night of like my first show for Playfair. So that was a no-brainer for me. I told her that I would just not do the first couple of shows, and you know, and I, you know, made sure she understood this. You know, there's hundreds. I mean, there's 20 people that, you know, Matt has to work with that can find someone else to do the show. But my mother was very adamant about me going to do the Playfair show.
One minute.
Thank you. So it got to the point to where we were arguing back and forth. And I was saying, no, there's no way that I'm going to go and do a Playfair when the day of your like that just doesn't compute. I was going to fly out that morning, be there that afternoon, and do the Playfair that night, and there's no way that I could really function just while you're going through the surgery, But she kind of kicked everybody out of the hospital room and just had a one-to-one, heart-to-heart moment with me that I really hadn't had with her during this whole process of the diagnosis. And she just basically told me that I needed to connect with what I love. And she knew how much I loved Playfair, and she knew how much I loved being in front of people and entertaining, and she knew what Playfair meant to me. So she felt that, an audience of 1,000 or 500 people should not miss because of the challenges that she's going through. So that said and done, I ended up going on the show. I called her, of course, before, talked to the family before, and I just had a piece about myself for the show. Of course, me personally, I didn't think how I would get through the show, I'm supposed to be Mr. Funny Guy. I'm not going to be very funny today, but I did it, and it happened, And after the show, talked to my aunt, my sister, and everything just kind of worked out for the time, Unfortunately, 3-4 months later, she passed away. And I don't know, it's just one of those things that I'll forever carry with me, that I was basically, to where my mother in her last days kind of gave me this sense of approval for what I was doing. You know what I mean? And that's doing what I love. So I'm just appreciative of that.
Thank you. And now, Marlon. Oh, yes. The mute. Where's the mute? Come on, Marlon. We gotcha. Okay, Marlon, with 3 people. Now, Marlon.
All right. Hey, everyone.
Oh, yes. Wow. Come on, Marlon.
Hey. Can everybody hear me?
We gotcha.
All right, all right. I travel as a posse now. All right, hey everyone.
Let the music.
You need to mute it on your end.
Oh, muted on my end?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, got it.
Now let's see what else happens. Talk again and see. No, sorry. Unmute it. All right. Marlon, okay. We can't hear you. We can't hear you. You have to unmute it.
So everybody else but
Right.
Now?
Okay. Yeah, but I think everybody else who's listening, like Dave and Carla, you guys should put it on mute.
Sorry.
Hi.
Okay, we can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
You have to unmute.
I'm unmuted.
I think you just need to mute your speaker, not your microphone.
Who's listening, like Dave and Carla, you guys should put it on mute. Sorry.
Carla.
Can you hear me now? I'm unmuted.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's better. That's better. Okay.
Is that better? Okay, can you hear me now? I can hear still a little background. I think there's a little delay.
There's a delay, but we can hear you much better. So start talking.
All right, I'll start talking. That's who I am. I'm a talker. So look, I just want to say, wow, Matt, congratulations. Playfair, oh my goodness. I met Matt in 1992. I had just resigned from Hewlett-Packard, and I was at a NSA conference, a regional conference. And what was so amazing is that I was at this NSA conference. I think it was like day 2 of a 3-day conference. It was pretty intense. And so what was amazing, I was walking with this guy named Norm Hall. And we were walking, and then Matt joined because Norm and Matt know each other. And then all of a sudden, Norm got called away, and Matt said to me, oh, what do you do? And I said, well, I just resigned from my job. And he said, oh, really? I do this thing called Playfair. And I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. And then he said, are you coming back tomorrow? I said, nah, I'm a little tired. You know, this thing is draining, all these seminars. He said, well, I hope you come back. I'm the closing keynote speaker. And so that next morning I woke up and I said, man, this dude, you know, with the afro, he was pretty cool. And I said, let me go check him out. So I rolled out of bed and came, and I was just mesmerized. I mean, seeing Matt do his thing, having people throw money up in the air. I said, this guy, he's got some skill. And so afterwards, I went up to him and said, wow, that was awesome. He said, well, look, you know, I'm doing this thing called Playfair. It's like a college orientation tour. Would you be interested in, you know, exploring some possibilities? I said, sure. And so he said, okay, well, you know, give my office a call and come on through. And so I followed up, and it was so cool because it was at the house, and you know, he was so laid back. And from there, he said, hey, okay, well, I feel like it's a good match. You're in. And I thought it was going to be some intense, you know, follow-up interviews. And he was like, okay, you're in. And so from there, he then said, okay, well, there'll be a training. I said, okay, great. Where's the training? And that's when he told me, oh, well, you know, our lead trainer, Jerry, is up in Vancouver, Canada. He and Pookie. And I said, wow, okay, that sounds exciting. And so, you know, flew up to Canada, and my goodness, that was so much fun. Jerry and Pookie just really welcomed me. And as I think about Playfair, I just think about expanding what's possible. And Matt, I talk about you a lot. You know, I feel very grateful to know you. I feel that God introduced us at the right time, at the right place. And you know, as far as memories, I remember we did a program down at the Disney Institute in Florida, Orlando, Florida. And what was so amazing is, you know, I think it was like a trade. So we all did a seminar, workshop, and then yeah, I think they gave us, you know, accommodations. But then that night, this is what I gotta tell y'all, we went partying, y'all. I think there's like, I forgot what it is, Paradise Island. And I remember Mahara. We went to a 70s club. And I tell you, we just tore up the dance floor. Something I will never forget. And then we also did another program in the Caribbean. And I forgot which island that was. But a lot of good times, a lot of good memories. And I just say thank you, Playfair. Thank you, Matt. Jerry, I saw you. And Amma. You know, so many great memories. And this is my daughter, Jade. And this is my son, Corey. And I told them, you know, hey, come on, this is part of Daddy's history, some great friendships, great experiences. And I just say, you know, I really had, and I continue to speak well of Playfair, and I'm just glad to have had this in my life. So I say thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Marlon. Blessings to you. Okay, so on to Emily. Thank you, Marlon.
Marlon, you need to mute again. It's my turn. Thank you so much. Cool. So last year was my very first tour, and I'm sure like everyone would have like a story from their first tour. So I think I'm going to speak maybe a little more generally. I hope I get done early so I can maybe tell a story for Dina. So Playfair came to my life at a moment where sort of everything was changing. It sort of still is. But something that kept coming up during training and kept coming up during retreat was everyone was like, oh, just fake it till you make it. Oh, just fake it till you make it. You'll get up there and you'll make it, you got it. And I was like, okay, but I can fake like a lot of stuff, and I don't know if that's exactly what I really should be doing. And I just sort of felt like the actors in the room will understand, like, you're sort of constantly doing that. You're sort of constantly, someone's like, oh, you're an actor, and you're like, yeah. They're like, what have you done? And you're like, so I sort of was like, oh fuck, and like I had just gotten engaged, and everyone was like, wow, you're gonna get married, that's crazy, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know anything about it, and so it was sort of like, Playfair sort of felt like another thing in my life that I was like, I'll just fake it till I make it, I'll pretend I know what I'm doing, and so Rich was talking to us all about like the travel stuff we had to learn how to do, and I was like, I've never rented a car before, never done that on my own. And like you would be telling us about all the paperwork, and in my head I just was like, should I tell them I've never rented a car? I was like, I'm just figuring this out. So I was like, all right, maybe this is it, maybe this is faking it. And I land in Arkansas for my first show, and I'm like so nervous, and I'm driving, and it's a 2-hour drive from the airport, and I blow my voice out because I'm singing Beyonce Sweet Dreams at the top of my lungs. I'm just trying to get ready, and I was so nervous. And I went into the bathroom before the show, and I was like, just fake it till you make it. Just fake it. And I walk out on stage, and it like had never occurred to me that these were babies. Like I was so nervous, and I was like, oh, they're gonna hate me, and I'm not cool. And I didn't know any of the songs that JW gave us. I'd never heard any of them. And I was like, and then I looked, and I was like, these people were in high school like 2 months ago. And I realized, like, my vulnerability, the fact that I was faking in my life these changes that I was going through, that was only going to help me be someone that they could really, like, see and get to know. And I was like, well, I did college, and I faked my way through that. And I was like, so I can fake my way through this. And I was like, and now I'm a grown-ass lady. So I was like, yeah, I can do this. So it was this moment of looking at it and being like, I don't have to fake it. I do actually know how to do this. So I did the show. The story I want to tell about Dina is Dina rocked her first, like we had our first training show, and we were switching off, and the first one that Dina had to do by herself, there was only megaphones, and we had never done megaphones, and there was no stage. We talked about the show. So we stood on chairs like this outside at Sacramento, and she had to use a microphone, and we kept trying to see how the microphone could strap to her, but we like couldn't strap it like this because it made her boobs look huge. And so it was like hanging on her thing, and she had this. So she would hold the mic, and this thing kept coming off. And throughout all of training, Dina was like, I hate diversity rap. I hate it so much. I can't memorize it. I don't know how to do it. So we worked so hard the night before on diversity rap. She had gone over it and over and over it, and she's standing up on the chair. She's rocking her first show, and she's doing so good, and I'm so proud of her. And I just kept like hitting that, and I was like, she's doing so good. She's doing so good. And she's up on the chair, and she has the megaphone, and all of a sudden she goes, okay, guys, diversity. And then all of a sudden the thing falls off the megaphone, and it gets all this feedback, and it drops, and it's like, and she's on the chair, and she's like, oh God, and so she's holding the microphone, hold this, and all the feedback, and all she can say is, diversity. Diversity. She got it. She really did. She's like melting pot. She got it.
Another day in the life of Playfair. Okay. Last but not least, we have Bjorn.
All right. Hey guys, we're trying to do this quickly. Before every Playfair tour, I actually try to watch the videos that Matt uploads, especially early on, because I was like, oh, how can I hear about everybody, and everybody seems so cool, especially after our first retreat. I was like, everybody's so good at what they do, I'm not going to steal. So like, my first couple of years, I was actually really just taking from everybody else. Like, I'm just going to steal that, I'm going to steal that, I'm going to steal that. And that was my Playfair show. And then in the middle of all that, I realized that I had to bring more of myself to it, honestly. And so there was one situation when I was doing like multiple shows at AIC in Springfield, Massachusetts. And it was like 1 week after another, and I was like, the show is getting stale because they've seen it all. Well, the assistant's seen it already. Maybe I'll do some different stuff. So I did Who Inspires You for some reason. I usually don't do it. And I shared about my son and being a young father at 19. And then, you know, after the show was over, they enjoyed it. This guy comes up to me, fear in his eyes that I can recognize, and he goes, "So, what advice you have for me? Because I'm about to be a father in about 3 or 4 months. And I don't know how to deal with that." And so, you know, we sat and we talked, and I just, you know, and you know, throughout my shows, people come up to me and say, "Thank you for that," and I think that's what means the most to me, that people come up afterwards and personally say, "Thank you for that." I don't know what they are going through, but they always come up and say that. So that's one thing. And you know, on a good note, when we're going through training, I was doing it with my good friend Jakar, who I've known way before this. And so we're going through training. At the end of the training, we're doing our show. So the first show we do together, we're rocking it out. Thank you. And then the second show, she does by herself. I'm doing the show after that. And so her show, she gets up there and she's killing it. I'm working her music and she's up there having a good time. 20 minutes into the show, person comes up there and says, "Okay, so can you end this in 5 minutes?" And literally, she literally goes, "Yes!" And I was just like, "Are you kidding me? She just did a 25-minute Playfair." And so the next day, it was mine. I had like a stomach ache thing going on, and we get there, we're setting up, and the woman comes up to me. I was like, "Okay, hey, how much time?" Because I hear like an hour, hour and a half. She's like, "Oh no, we have 2.5 to 3 hours for you. So take as much time as you want." And literally, I looked at Takara, and she was like, "Baby, I got you. I got you. We're gonna do this. We're gonna be all right." And I went through every activity in that damn book. Every single activity. And she was like, "You got it." And she's over on the side, turning the pages like, "Yeah, that's it." And I'm like, brother, my stomach's aching, but like, I just think about that, like that was like really genuinely, and since I have a little time, I got sexually harassed in Newberry, South Carolina by a 75-year-old racist white woman. For 2 hours, she sang to me, she offended me, she made me feel compassion for her, she did all these things, and I don't think I'd ever had that experience without Playfair. So.
Woo! Well, that wraps up our first Google Hangout experience. Thanks to all of you who've joined us today. It's been so great to reconnect with you all. And we wish you all the best, and we hope to see you here or there, wherever our paths may cross in the future. Thanks to everybody.
We love
Hey, Carla!
Hey, Carla! Hey, Jay!
Racist sexual harassment.